welcome to this ROV chat. And today Stephen and I are going to talk about the power of vibration to heal. So we've talked previously about brainwave frequencies and the frequency of the earth, and how when we get into deep meditative states, our brainwaves tend to center around the frequencies of theta, which are in the 3 to 8 frequency range, and how that relates to the Schumann resonance of the earth at about 7.83 hertz. So I'm going to share my screen and just show a couple of these EEG graphs of brainwave states. And so the first one here, this is a graph of Stephen's, and you see here, if you can read that, it says 7.83. That's the Schumann resonance, the fundamental resonant frequency of the earth, between the earth and the ionosphere. And you can see in measuring brainwaves in Stephen's meditative state here, he has a real peak right around 7 hertz, so a strong theta frequency, and then also a harmonic of that at about 14 hertz. So that shows when the brain is in this meditative state and it's synchronized and coherent, it'll tend to resonate right around that theta signature. And then we have one of my graphs, same idea. If you look right here, you see mine kind of bracket Stephen's here. Mine has a strong frequency at 6 and at 8 hertz. So if the Schumann resonance is right here, just below 8 hertz, you can see that there is a tendency for the brain, when it's coherent, to be right in this theta range. And so it makes sense, since our bodies are, living on this earth, in the gravity of the earth, in the energy field of the earth, that when our brains and our bodies are synchronized and in a nice state, that they would resonate right around the same frequency as the earth. So that got us. So when we learned that was a really fascinating thing about meditation and about brainwaves. And as we've gone into this idea of frequency deeper, and we've both been reading this book by Eileen McKusick, Electric Body, Electric Health, and she goes really deep into, she's really measured and used sound frequencies to heal all kinds of different conditions in the body, in the energy field. So Stephen, you had an experience this week where you had a round of tinnitus, and so I think you're going to share about what you did about that and how it relates to resonant frequencies.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Thank you. And truly, everybody, I'm always tremendously grateful for the opportunity to, share these kind of wondrous insights that we all have with you. And certainly Kevin and I explore these, and exploring the body electric, and Eileen McKusick's work has been, really very revelatory in so many different levels. So I've played for many years. I played music professionally in rock bands, and some of them very loud rock bands for years. So I managed bands and I performed in them. Mostly I played bass, electric guitar, lead guitar, and sang. And we used to play to pretty big crowds at certain times, up to about 5,000 people. So we were in big rigs, in big outdoor venues with lots of equipment. As a bass player, you're often standing right in front of the speaker. So from time to time over the years, I've had bouts of tinnitus, and it can be pretty strong. And this week, curiously enough, Kevin and I, in our Raising Our Vibration group, were discussing tinnitus, or just hearing some of the experiences of the people there. And who knows, maybe that triggered something. I might have tuned in empathically, because that night I suddenly got one of my old bouts of tinnitus. And it's for me, it occurred, this particular occasion, it occurred like a resounding om, like it was literally a key, like, oh, like on and on, 24 hours for three entire days. In my right ear, and it's really loud. I mean, it's louder than anything else, so it's very strong. So I mean, I know this effect, and so I allowed it. I surrendered to it, and I asked for some guidance about what to do with it, and I tried different things. So I tried different tinnitus. I call them tinnitus mudras. You know, you put your thumbs in your ear and you open your jaw, and as you close your jaw, you pull your thumbs out, and the suction kind of moves the inner ear canal, and you know, using and vibrating the energy of the lower lobes and pulling them out. They kind of have some effect. But what I found particularly effective, in fact, the tinnitus vanished and it hasn't come back, is that on the piano, I found the exact key of the tinnitus. It happened to be in the key of D, lucky me. And I worked with that vibration. So I started to, I guess, compose or find the exact frequency of the tinnitus in my voice, and then started to chant for quite some time, you know, for usually 10, 15 minutes at a time, just going, oh, right on the key of that tinnitus. And I did this for a considerable period of time on the fourth day, and the tinnitus vanished and it hasn't come back. Now, I'm very interested in this energy area here, you know, around the throat chakra, especially around the thyroid. My mum had a lot of challenges with the thyroid gland. She always said to me, you know, you want to watch that area, you know, develop kind of some sort of affinity for it. And I know in Eileen's work, she also has an affinity for the, you know, throat chakra and the jaw. And she's a singer, and I did a lot of singing, and I still do a lot of singing on my wife's YouTube channel with my daughter. So this particular center is the center for our creative communication and our truth, you know, speaking our truth. And so the resonance of this area is where we come into resonance with the truth of our being, and also, you know, the truth that we're radiating to each other, to our planet. So and in the years of healing work that I've done, I've found a lot of people have very powerful experiences around here. A lot of the constrictions and obstacles and blocks that people feel often come here because it's narrower, you know, narrower than your head, and certainly narrower than the torso. And, you know, in many ways, through our resonance or our vibration, and we're vibrating all day here, right? This is the throat energy center is moving through our communication. We're creating our lives through our words, through how we speak and how we communicate our truth to people. So I was particularly present to this when I worked with the vibration of the mantra Om, because it actually sounded exactly like Om in my right ear. There was no pain. There was just an overwhelming right ear Om. And so, you know, maybe I can thank my thank the gifts or the blessings of the way awareness points out to me, oh, you know, even if I'm going to give you something that's a little sticky like tinnitus, I'm going to give it to you in the form of Om in your right ear. I thought that was pretty funny. But anyway, so, you know, a good question for you is, how are you using the creative power of your words today? And are you really expressing your truth? And that's kind of what it came down to me. I thought, wow, this, you know, this mantra, Om, by chanting this for a considerable length of time. Like I said, I think I must have done it 3 times before it vanished, for about 15 minutes each, before the tinnitus vanished. You know, mantras are things that we repeat over and over to ourselves. So, if you consider the healthy mantras that you use, so for sure that Om was a very healthy mantra for me to use for the tinnitus, but there's also lots of unbeneficial mantras that we use over and over again in our lives, things we tell ourselves, right? Things that reinforce the narrative self that are actually simply just stories. So when we consider what it means to truly, drop away from this identity and drop into non-dual awareness, for example, then we often find we have to attend to those stories, to the unbeneficial mantras. And those unbeneficial mantras definitely do not play a greater role in our health and happiness. So when you look at this from health and happiness, then we start to consider all of the things that go into and out of our mouth. So, are you eating things that are healthy for you? And when you eat them, do you actually spend time with the food and the drink as it goes in your mouth, expressing gratitude, expressing thanks, and really nourishing your body by the very time you spend with whatever you're eating? Or are you always in a rush and you gobble things down and you're simply not even aware of what goes into this body to nourish it? So all that kind of inquiry came up through this tinnitus. So the actual tinnitus, I thought, was actually pretty beneficial, because I really delved deep into the power of the mantra, and it really woke me up to the opportunities that we have for health and happiness through the power of the word or mantra or vibration and resonance. When you consider it, the biofield of our throat and this energy and this ability to tune into beneficial mantras or unbeneficial ones. This biofield of the throat chakra holds the history of our communication. Like everything we've said, everything that we have either said or not said, and when we feel an impulse to express something, it really truly is a resonance event or an electromagnetic event, right? Every single word that comes out of your mouth is a resonance, is an energy, is a vibration. And that if we suppress that, if we suppress our truth or suppress our the power of our communication, resonance, or vibration, then we're going to suppress things in our system, and it's going to build up static and inflammation. And if we express ourselves, like my mum always said, better out than in, then we start to really attune ourselves to the resonance and vibration of our energy field. So that was just some of the thoughts that came out of this experience of spending 3 days with tinnitus that was so clearly pointing out something to me.
Yeah, it's really interesting how you tuned into that frequency and then kind of matched it. And by it expressing that, then the symptom resolved. Kind of reminds me of we have an exercise in the Raising Our Vibration Subtle Energy Meditation course where we ask people to tune into an issue, right? And to become aware of where it's located in the body and where it's stored. And there's a moment there where we asked, if it were to make a sound, what sound would it make, right? So that reminded me of the tinnitus. It was making a specific sound that you tuned into, and by expressing that, it was able to bring that symptom, resolve that symptom. And talking again about Eileen McKusick's work with healing all kinds of different symptoms in the body, she has developed a weighted tuning fork called the Sonic Slider, and here this one has a circuit boot on it that has these little depressions that kind of trap and sustain a frequency. So when you hit this on the striking block, makes a vibration, and then say you had a pain in your neck. And when you hold it here, you can just feel it's really soothing vibration that just travels through. We're talking about the throat. I can feel this traveling through the whole throat area and still going. And now it subsides. So it has about 20 seconds that it will resonate for. And I used this, I've been experimenting with this a lot with different aches and pains or tensions. This week I had a headache right there, a temple headache, I think because I was doing too much computer work and it's kind of straining my eyes. And so I tend to squint at the screen. So I just hit it and I put it right here. And again, it's just a nice, gentle frequency. And I just let it run all the way down. And I did that about 10 times. And at the end of the 10th time, the headache was gone. So this specific, the frequency of this is 12 times the Schumann resonance. So it's a harmonic of the Schumann resonance. And Eileen McKusick has found that it's a frequency that really brings the body into coherence and synchrony and helps to resolve all kinds of symptoms. So I've been using it, like if I get again, from leaning forward, looking at the computer, I might get tension right here in the trapezius muscle. Again, that's real easy to just put it right there, right on the spot. And I find that if I do that, maybe 8 to 10 times and just let it run down, it's amazing how the tension just melts away. So it just shows the power of these resonant frequencies for health, and whether it's expressing a frequency through, vocally or through a chant. We've done a lot with chanting in the chakras or chanting in the dantians in our courses, or using, a tool like this sonic slider. It's amazing the results that are possible just by bringing the body, heart, and mind into a coherent frequency that resonates with optimal function.
Kevin, it's so beautifully said. I do think that's really right at the heart of what we're speaking about is attuning to resonance, frequencies, vibration that bring about health. Because at the heart of everything that we're doing, the foundation for people's lives often rests right on that bedrock of, if you have a good health, then that good health contributes to happiness, and you can go about your day and in this world and connect with people in such a peaceful way. But when your health suffers, there is no doubt that all kinds of anxieties perpetuate. So really, some of these simple practices, I think the real advantage of sound and resonance and vibration is that it's immediately accessible. You can do it through your voice, through your vibration. If you don't have a tuning fork like the sonic healing fork that you've got, or a tuning fork that you've got, and also with the assistance of that kind of tool, you can access ways of healing that really in a very personal way. You might have otherwise gone to healers to do that, and now you can start to experiment with self-healing. So I think that's such a crucial part of today's world, especially in our world where perhaps there's not quite so much access to people as there was a year or more ago. There's still some limited things, access to these kind of opportunities, and yet through doing and experimenting with resonance and vibration yourself, you can find out many, just as we have many wondrous things that are really incredibly helpful for health and happiness.
Mm. Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah.
And thank you all for watching, and we hope that you will start to view yourself as a vibrational being, as an energetic being, and explore the ways that you can use vibration and sound and movement and music to bring you into a state of harmony and resonance with optimal health and well-being. Thank you for your practice.
Thank you, truly. Love and gratitude and blessings always. So bring gratitude and feel the blessings of everything you do and everything you eat and everywhere you walk and everyone you meet. Bye for now.
Bye for now.